I'm going to read you the story of Passover since we are starting to learn about Passover and doing Passover activities. The Hebrew people lived long ago in Egypt. They lived in a peace until a wicked Pharaoh came and made them slaves. One day the Lord spoke to a Hebrew named Moses. The Lord said, "Moses, go and deliver my people from the house of bondage." That's slavery. Moses was afraid, but the Lord said, "I will be with you. Tell the children of Israel that the Lord God has sent you to free them." Moses went to Pharaoh and said, "The Lord God of Israel has commanded that you let his people go free." Pharaoh said, "I do not know this Lord, and I will not let Israel go." Moses said, "If you do not let the Hebrew slaves go, the Lord will turn the river's water into blood." When Moses' staff touched the water, it turned to blood. But Pharaoh said he would not let God's people go. Then God sent frogs, and more frogs. Frogs were everywhere. Pharaoh promised that if the Lord would take away the frogs, he would let free the Hebrews. But when the frogs disappeared, Pharaoh would not let the people go. The Lord was angry. He sent gnats to the Egyptians, but Pharaoh still would not let the people go. God sent flies. Pharaoh asked Moses to speak to the Lord to end the flies. The flies left, but Pharaoh would not let the people go. Then the Lord sent a sickness to the animals. Still, Pharaoh would not let the Hebrews leave. Yucky flies. The Lord sent boils that made the Egyptians sick. The Lord sent hail and fire. The land was burned. The Egyptians' houses were crushed, but the Hebrew land and houses were untouched. Pharaoh pleaded with Moses. God stopped the plagues, but Pharaoh would not free the Hebrew slaves. God sent locusts to eat the crops. Still the people were not set free. Then God sent darkness to the land for 3 days. Pharaoh still would not free the Hebrews. The Lord told the Hebrews to sacrifice a lamb. Spread its blood on their doorposts. Then roast and eat the lamb with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. The Lord would pass over the Hebrew homes. At midnight, every firstborn person and animal of Egypt died, but the Hebrews and their animals were saved. Pharaoh told Moses to take the Hebrew people out of Egypt, finally. The Lord commanded the Hebrews to observe his Passover in every generation. He told them to remove the leaven from their houses and eat unleavened bread for 7 days. He told them to celebrate a feast on the 1st and 7th days of Passover observance. Then they would never forget that the Lord had passed over their houses. See them leaving? The Hebrews had lived in Egypt 430 years. After the Lord's passing over, they were free to worship him. The happy children of Israel followed Moses into the wilderness. And they went to Israel. That's the story of Passover. Thank you. Bye.